Still social distancing. It's very hard. I've been trying to film a fucking vlog, but I'm sharing a bedroom with my mother and my dogs. Can we say hi to the people? Can y'all be in my video or no? Y'all ain't shit. All they fucking do is sleep. Like, we want to have fun, and all y'all want to do is sleep. I'm gonna leave them alone because I feel bad. But they ain't shit.
Aquí lo tienes, al rato te van, lo vas a olvidar. Ahí está ahí enterrado entre las garras.
¿Cuál libro?
Uno que estaba ahí. No está en la libreta, hija.
Madre, yo no sé, yo no he visto la libreta.
Una libreta con las pastas verdes.
Madre, yo no lo he visto. Will my mother ever find her libreta? We don't know.
Montana, hija.
Madre.
¿No la has visto por aquí?
No, no lo he visto.
Mírala.
Pues tú.
Ay, chingado, como dice la niña, mira. ¿Ya ves? Kikiricao.
Let's see it.
Araceli me perdió mi libreta.
Mamá, tú.
Con su guerrero que trae por donde quiera.
Ya, ok. Con mi garero.
Como doña esta.
Tú ni usas ninguno de esos pantalones, ¿por qué los tienes?
¿Dónde tu padre?
Ya, y él tampoco los usa. I'm gonna tell y'all the story about, about how I came about with these dogs. How they came into my life, how they continue to be in my life. I've had dogs all my life. When I got into undergrad, I lived with someone named Narit, who is my best friend ever. I fucking love Narit. I was living with her. She got a husky, and I had never really wanted a husky before. Like growing up, I had pit bulls, mostly just pit bulls all the time. With this husky, I just loved him. Like I treated him like he was mine. Like I really cared about him. We used to go on long runs. And then my brother, who was living with me at the time in Monterey, he got a pit bull. Yeah, I lived with them and I really fucking loved them. Like I used to take really good care of them. I used to take them on runs a bunch. I ended up moving from Monterey and moved to Santa Barbara for grad school. When I got to grad school, I was dealing again with a very violent relationship to the university with the advisors. I just felt kind of lonely, like something was missing. And I remember the exact day when I got my baby Boov. Boov is the husky. I got a text message from Nari. Pabu, which was the husky that I lived with, Pabu had babies. And I was like, oh my God. When I got this message, I didn't know that Pabu was gonna have puppies. When I got this message, it was during a fellowship application process in my first year. I had been dealing with a really emotionally abusive and manipulative advisor in my first few years. When I got this message about Boov being born, I was in the parking lot of Ralph's in Goleta. I was in the middle of an anxiety attack, very severe anxiety attack. And the anxiety attack came from an email exchange with an advisor because of this fellowship that I was applying for. I wasn't prepared for the amount of just shadiness that grad school brings. Shadiness from other graduate students, shadiness from faculty. Like, I didn't expect that. I don't know. Maybe I was naive, but I didn't expect that. It's like dealing with this really severe panic attack. After I went to therapy, I talked to my therapist about it, and she actually called it a panic attack because I described to her what happened and how it went, and she diagnosed it as a panic attack. I was in the car in the middle of this panic attack, feeling like I couldn't breathe, and I get a message from Narit. She sends me a picture of all the puppies, and she's like, oh my God, Pabu's a dad. For me, it was like, this is a sign from the heavens. Like, I need to get a dog. He came into my life in that way. He was born on March 9th. He's a Pisces, piece of shit. I didn't get him until about May because, they can't leave their mom for a while. I was sneaking him into San Clemente, which is the grad student. I've always been fuck everything. I'm the worst though. I'm the worst. You should not be like me. I do not follow any rules, and I really shouldn't be that way, but it's hard. I have a misdemeanor because I don't follow rules. Anyways, so yeah, he was living in San Clemente with me from May to June. From there, I went to Northern California for the summer because I fucking hated Santa Barbara. I got accepted into family family housing and moved to family housing with him. Yo, it was fucking hard. I knew it was gonna be hard. They require a lot of exercise, they require a lot of attention, but like Pabu, the husky that I lived with before, like he wasn't super needy. Like he could be left alone. Like if you left him in his crate, he was chilling. But Boo, from the very beginning, he hated being alone. I got him a crate and I was like, cool, you're just gonna chill in your crate while I'm at school, because that's what Pabu did. But no, he broke like 3 crates that I got him. He used to scream, and I don't know if you've ever heard a husky scream, but they scream. It was just bad. I couldn't do anything. If I couldn't take him with me, I would get really anxious about leaving my house. And in the beginning it was fine because he was small and I could take him everywhere. Like I used to take him with me to lecture, I used to take him with me to grad seminar, I used to take him with me fucking everywhere. The bigger he got, it got kind of hard to take him places. And then people don't really like dogs like that. Like I know people like dogs, but people don't really like dogs like around like that, which is, you know, understandable or whatever. I like had to leave him home. One time I left him home, I went to school. I didn't think anything of it. I came back after like 3 hours to check on him. I'm riding my bike back to my apartment and I see 2 huskies walking with this person, and I'm like, yo, why does that look like Boo? Getting closer on my bike, and I'm like, yo, and I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to that person because that hella looks like Boo and that's weird. And I realize it's fucking Boo, and I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, like we found him and he's just been hanging out at our house for a few hours. And I'm like, what the fuck? So when I left, he like broke out of my apartment somehow. It was dramatic. And that's just the life he gave me all the time. I was always anxious that I was gonna lose his ass. I just thought, you know, my life is just gonna be this anxious mess all the time. He's never gonna like be able to be without me, and I'm just gonna be tied to him. And I thought maybe it'll go away, but it probably won't. I don't really know. Boo! Oh, he's fucking weird. Let me show you what he does. Like a lays with just his head under the fucking... I don't get it. I don't get it. Can I lay here with you? Let me lay here with you. I gave you like fucking 4 years of my life, Boo. The least you can fucking do is let me lay with you. He's not gonna let me lay with him. And at this point, it was kind of cool because I wasn't working any other jobs. Like I was just doing coursework and TAing. And for my TA-ship, I took him with me. It wasn't like super intruding yet. At this point, I got X. X, say hello to the people. X, Xy, 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 say hello to the people, please. To the people, they like you. So X actually came into my life in a really strange and sad way. As I mentioned, my brother got a pit bull when we were living in Monterey. My brother ended up bringing his pit bull to my mom's house because he moved somewhere in Monterey that was not dog friendly. I feel a bump. Is this a fucking tick? I mean, I'm trying to make sure that this motherfucker doesn't have a tick. It's not a tick. We came home for winter break. Boof got along really well with Eddie, who was the pit bull. Wasn't any like issues with that, because now there's a dog at my mom's house who does not get along with Boof at all. But Eddie was like great. Like he was the most fucking amazing dog ever. I fucking loved Eddie. One day Eddie and Boof ended up getting out of my mom's gate. My mom has a gate around the house. My husky figured out how to like break through the wooden... Oh yeah? You want to get up? We're talking about your trifling ass. We're talking about how trifling you are. I'm just out here on the floor. Look at me. I'm like, I'm annoying. Yeah, they got out. We couldn't find them. And there's this page in Merced that helps you find dogs. And someone was like, oh, I saw them by Target. So I go to Target and I see them on like the side of the road. And Boo was totally fine, but Eddie couldn't move. He was alive, but he couldn't like move. He had been hit by a car. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it, but he ended up dying and it was really sad. I loved Eddie very, very much. I like couldn't leave my bed for like weeks. I was really happy that I was on winter break because I literally could not get out of my bed for weeks. I was very depressed. And so I ended up feeling that for a really long time. And then one day my cousin was scrolling on Facebook and saw X on Facebook and someone was trying to get rid of him. And she sends me a screenshot because he looked a lot like Eddie. So I think just kind of not even in a let's get him kind of way, but more so in like a, oh, look at this dog that looks like Eddie. But my ass was like, I need that dog. It was my way of like mourning Eddie. And I was like, I need that dog and I need you to give me that dog. I ended up getting him. You're so gross. Don't lick me. Can you just like sit here and look cute? You don't need to lick me. Ew, don't lick me. Please. So that's how I got X. He was a way to mourn the loss of Eddie. And it was like a super spur of the moment decision. Like I didn't think it through. I didn't think what it would be like to have 2 dogs. I was just like, yep, I'm getting him. He's gonna be mine. And thankfully, like he actually made, and just show him to you. Hey. He's the fucking chillest pitbull I've ever met in my life. He's always been super chill. This is like his forever mood. It's just like, bitch, can we sleep and eat and that's it? He fucking hates me because I make him run. But he loves it. You have boogers. You always have fucking boogers in your eyes, Exy. He's also really fucking annoying. He will not lay on the ground. There has to be a blanket on the ground. He will not lay on the ground if there's no blanket for him. X was like, from the beginning, so chill. Like he's a very chill dog. He potty trained super easily. He slept through the night like right away. Overall, he just made my life better, and he made having Boov better. Like he made Boov a way better dog. They remind me that there are other really important things outside of the university, and I shouldn't be fucking worried about the university because the university isn't checking for me. It's not worried about me. And it's so great when I get to just like hang out with them after a really long fucking day. They're big dogs, so they have needs. Like I need to take them on walks. I need to take them on runs. I need to get energy out. And it's really nice to have that sort of purpose in my life that's outside of the university completely, that forces me to see a life outside of the horrible constructs of the university. And I love them. And I love them for it. You're stepping on my hair. I love you. Don't kiss me. Just fake kisses. Thank you. I love you. So if you're considering grad school, if you're in grad school, if you don't have a dog and you're thinking about a dog, even a cat, 10 out of 10, recommend. They're fucking great. They will give you so much happiness and purpose. Just, make sure you choose a dog or cat that fits your lifestyle. I love to run, so I'm really, really grateful that I have a husky. This motherfucker makes it really, really hard to run long distance, but we love him anyways. So yeah, definitely recommend.